Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my weekly Q&A segment, so let's get right into this. What is the best thing you can do with a stick of gum? I don't really know what kind of question. You chew gum. You don't swallow gum. Now I know someone's going to make an innuendo of that. What is the best thing you can do with gum, guys? Because I don't even know what the heck they're trying to say. Stick it under a desk. Put it on the sidewalk so someone steps on it. I don't really know. Do you watch SSJ 9K/9000? I've seen some of the stuff. I wasn't really an avid viewer, but I did know of him. But I didn't really watch him too much. Grade 8 Baby Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I would say Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta just because Vegeta did get stronger from when Baby was taking over his body. And I feel like that Vegeta just honestly seemed like he was stronger, and that's actually a good fight now that I think about it. It's hard to say because Goku got stronger since he fought Baby. Vegeta got stronger, but was Vegeta stronger than what he was when Baby possessed him? That's a tough one, really. I would still give it to Vegeta, but that's something I'd really have to go back and look at. But it seemed like Vegeta did get a lot stronger. But Grade 8 Baby Vegeta was definitely pretty strong. I don't know. That's a tough one, though. That is definitely a tough one. That's something to hear about in the comments, definitely. Someone's going to mention it. After Order 66, the only known remaining Jedi was Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. They both desired to give Luke and Leia away, but why did they do it? I mean, would it not be better if they took care of Luke and Leia by themselves and at the same time trained them to become Jedis? I think you meant to ask Geeked in this question because I like Star Wars. I've seen all the movies, but this is not my question to answer, really. I don't put the same thought process in Star Wars as I do with Dragon Ball. So it's kind of, I mean, obviously it's writing, and come on, it's Lucas. Lucas had like 100% control of those films, and I mean, are you really surprised that something illogical like that would happen? I mean, Yoda was kind of, if I remember, he kind of went into exile because he's failed. And Obi-Wan, maybe he feels like he's failed as well as a trainer, with Anakin. It could be it. That would be my best way to answer it. Alright. Hi, I would like to know the strength level of Super Buu and his other absorbed forms versus Kid Buu, which is stronger in their power compared to the Z fighters. If you can do a YouTube video on this, it'd be awesome. I do want to do a video on Super Buu versus Kid Buu, and Kid Buu and all forms above Kid Buu, or I'm sorry, Super Buu and all the forms, and absorptions of Super Buu are far beyond that of the power of Kid Buu. Anyone that says any different has not read the manga, seen the Japanese, the subtitles for the Japanese version of the anime. They've only seen the Funimation dub, where the dub changes make it seem as if Kid Buu's the strongest Buu. Trust me, Super Buu is by far the strongest. Manga points towards that plenty. Japanese anime, I'm going to do a video on the future, and I know after I do that video and completely prove that Super Buu is much more powerful, people are still going to be, a little bit silly and think Kid Buu's stronger for some reason. I don't know why people decide to not believe this stuff. Listen, I've said Gotenks is stronger than Goku in the Buu saga by a large margin, but Goku's my favorite character. I have no shame in saying it. If Kid Buu's your favorite character or villain, that's fine, but you don't need to make a terrible argument to say he's stronger or anything like that. But yeah, Super Buu's strong. I'll do a video in the future on that. Most definitely. And hopefully I'll put the whole thing to rest, but there's always going to be people that think Kid Buu's stronger. I can't possibly understand why they would think Kid Buu's stronger. It makes no sense to me. This is the same question asked again. I couldn't delete it. I couldn't manage to hit the X. What non-Batman villain would you love to see come and take on Ben Affleck's Batman, even if for a filler villain like in the intro series to Brave and the Bold? And who would you want him to play, him or her? That's pretty tough for me. I mean, I'm not the comic book guy. You're probably thinking of Duct Tape, but I'm not really the comic book guy. But if I had to pick a villain that I'd want to see, I mean, from the trailers, it looked like Darkseid was in it. I didn't pay too much attention to the trailers, but that's interesting. I want to see the Penguin come back, honestly. Quite honestly, I'd like to see the Penguin come back. I liked it when Danny DeVito played him in the old, what was it, 1989 one, the Tim Burton Batman. That was fun. That was definitely fun. Batman Returns, I think it was, actually, the second movie. The first one, a Joker. How do you feel about all the crazy stuff that's being added to Dragon Ball Heroes? You know what? It is crazy, and a lot of it is stupid, but you know what? If there's, when we get Xenoverse 2, if, Dragon Ball Heroes is made by the same people that made Xenoverse, Dimps, the Budokai creators, Burst Summit, all those great Dragon Ball games, I would love to see some Dragon Ball Heroes stuff in Xenoverse 2. It would give a lot more stuff to do in the story mode as well as parallel quests. And it being in the current gen only, I would assume Xbox One, PS4, PC, I assume it's not going to be at all on the last generation. I would really like to see some what if characters, and honestly, maybe I'd do a quick little short video on what I really would want to see in Xenoverse 2. As far as characters, I've done a video on all the features that can be improved, but as far as characters, I want to really dive in. Maybe I'll get Dino or something to do a video with me on who we really want to see in Xenoverse 2, because I want some Dragon Ball Heroes stuff, honestly. It's not far-fetched. It's the same dev. I think it can be done if they really put their mind to it. I mean, maybe they want to keep that stuff exclusive to Heroes. I mean, I'd like to still see, like, let's say, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. I want to see that crap. We don't need, like, all the Majin characters, but I think that a lot of those Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 4s, I would love to see. I really would. Part 3, Dio versus Cell Games Krillin. The only Dio that I know is, I only know Dio the artist, so I don't. If you mean him, he's just a regular guy and he's dead, so. I mean, he killed Krillin with the power of metal. Holy diver. Something like that. Give him a good old holy diver. Throw a rainbow at the dark at him. I can't even talk. Give him a little bit of that. Give him some Dio. I think Dio could take that one then. But I don't know what Dio you're talking about. If there's like an anime character that I don't know, I don't think there's any Dragon Ball character named Dio either. Unless you typed this wrong. Yeah. This one's interesting. What would Super Saiyan 3 Raditz look like? It's something we've all thought of, and I really gotta put my mind to this. And I want you guys to also say, it's pretty simple, I think, but it could be Raditz at Super Saiyan 3. Obviously, he'd never get to Super Saiyan 3. Obviously, he'd be missing eyebrows. Raditz at Super Saiyan 3 hair. Logically, his hair would grow. That's a logical statement. Even though the non-canon Super Saiyan 3s, we've seen their hair grow. We know Gotenks and Goku, their hair grows. The canon Super Saiyan 3, both their hair grows to an extreme length. Eyebrows disappear. Logically speaking, the same would happen to Raditz. Yeah, Raditz is the simple one, but I want to throw in Nappa. And I think a lot of people have obviously joked about the bearded, very long bearded Nappa. Like, what would Super Saiyan 3 Nappa be? And I think that definitely, I don't think, Nappa, I think he's pretty much bald. I don't think he's shaved his head. I'm not really gonna try to use the whole, Saiyan's hair doesn't change from birth, because that's even in the normal series, that's been a little bit weird. And I think that if Nappa went Super Saiyan 3, he wouldn't get any hair on the top of his head. He'd still be bald. And I got an interesting one. Kind of like eyebrows, I think his mustache would regress and just be bald. So I think he'd be bald face, bald head, no mustache, no hair, and just super powerful. So he'd be like just a fake out Super Saiyan 3. So you wouldn't even know what the heck was going on with him. That's what I think. I really think that's what both of them look like. Rad's hair, obviously, I think would grow. I don't see why it would stay the same, honestly. I mean, if he was Super Saiyan, would it stick up straight? Probably not. It's not impossible that it could. We see Gohan's hair doesn't really go up when he goes Super Saiyan. It's not guaranteed every Saiyan's hair has to stick straight up, and I feel like if they did design Super Saiyan Raditz, I guess they wouldn't really make his hair go straight up, and I guess they would have to differentiate if he went Super Saiyan 3. That's interesting. Now, if he went Super Saiyan 2, his hair probably should stick up. That's interesting to think about, and it's quite honestly something I can't realistically answer in universe thing. It's just my opinion, but what do you guys think of that one? Do you think Super Saiyan 3? What do you think all the Super Saiyan levels of like Raditz, Nappa would look like? Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. What do you guys think of that one? That's an interesting question and something that I don't really get too much on this Ask FM. Good question there. Mr. Saiyan versus I know I said versus Heihachi Mishima. That's the guy from Tekken, right? That old dude. I would definitely say he would whoop Mr. Satan's ass. I mean, he'd probably throw him in a volcano. If my Tekken lore is right, then that should be a good joke for people. Dude, you and your YouTube buds should do a kite kick. I've heard this thing. I don't even know what the heck it is still. Kick, K-I-K. I don't know what the heck that is. I get asked about it all the time. I still can't be bothered to know what it is. Group chat and invite some fans. I mean, I use Skype, so that's what I use. I just have Skype. I don't use this thing. I mean, if I ever did like a Patreon type of thing, which I honestly would never probably ever do. It's not, impossible to happen. If I really want to push and I'm doing YouTube full time. If I need help, my first choice is to just go get another job. Right now YouTube's definitely paying off. I mean, if I did like a Patreon thing, I could do like a Patreon podcast with like fans. Thing is, if I ever did a Patreon, number one, I don't think many people would even donate to it, so it'd look foolish for me to even do it. I don't think really anyone would donate to it, and I mean, I don't like asking for money. And if I did a Patreon, I wouldn't really set, like, how they have like the goals and stuff. I wouldn't really want to promise you guys anything because it's not guaranteed what would happen. There'll be simple goals that I could set, but there's not like, oh, if you donate this much, I'll be able to do this every month, like this type of video or this segment. Like, you can't promise that stuff. And I know I would feel bad if I couldn't deliver on that. So, I mean, Patreon's probably not something I would really ever do. If I do in the future, don't put me on a spit because I said that it might happen. The plan is now that it's not. If I do open one on the side and people want to give me money, I mean, people can give me money now. I have a donate button on my page. I mean, no one's really done it, and I'm not asking for it, but it's there if people want to donate and support me. I don't ask for it. I don't really need the money, but it still helps. Let's see. Who truly avenged the Saiyan race? Goku or future Trunks? I would still say Goku because Goku was the first one to encounter Frieza and really stand up to him. He didn't defeat him, but he humiliated him to such a degree. Even in Resurrection F, you see Frieza set on Goku. Goku's the one that really humiliated him. Even though Trunks killed him, I think he mentioned Trunks more in Super. He actually recognized his kid Trunks, and that was like stupid that nothing even happened to that. But I think that Goku truly did avenge the Saiyan race, in my opinion. I mean, especially if you want to go off the ending of Resurrection F too, if you really want to throw that in there. But in my opinion, it would still be Goku, just because of how humiliated Frieza was. He's terrified by turning into a Super Saiyan. He fulfilled that legend. So I would still say Goku did. I mean, maybe you guys can comment on that. Who really avenged Frieza. And quite honestly, that could be a fun, like, 4 or 5 minute video topic, honestly. You might have just given me a video topic to discuss. It's more of an opinionated one, but, like, I mean, I've done weirder videos. I think that last one I did, could your potential be unlocked by the Elder Kai? That was a cool video, but, like, it's not like there's a whole point to it. But I wanted to do it. I thought it'd be a fun video. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that. This could be another fun video. We'll see in the future if I do it. Is Funimation's stream service any good specifically for watching Dragon Ball, or should I just buy the Blu-rays? I swear to God, if I could just have the Dragon boxes, I'd shit myself. I could actually buy all the Dragon boxes right now, but I don't want to spend all that money. I have all the Blu-rays. I've tried the stream service. I prefer the Blu-rays just because they're, physical. They are going to look better because they're Blu-rays. I don't really use streaming service, so my recommendation is just buy the Blu-rays. I mean, you can have them. For me, it feels good just to have them. That's my recommendation. I haven't really used the streaming service too much, so I'm probably not your best guy for that. I don't really have any connections with Funimation, so you're not getting like some, I'm not getting money in my pocket from Funimation or anything. I don't really work with them. I would like to do some, promotional stuff with them. I haven't contacted them for anything. I'm sure if I contact them, we can work something out, but I haven't really done anything. But I just prefer the Blu-rays, honestly. That's just quite frankly what I'd like. What am I confused about? I gotta delete the question. Dragon Balls are hurting the franchise. Okay. Oh no, I see. I was confused now. Now it makes sense to read. Dragon Balls are hurting the franchise because there's no suspense, and death isn't really a big deal. When Piccolo died in Super, it wasn't a big deal at all. Normally everything is emotional, and Goku was just like, let's wish him back. Namek needs to go. By the way, love your channel. Well, I guess he means like wish him back with the Namek balls, and I appreciate that you like my channel, but you're right, and it's not like they can just give away. I think if they did away with Dragon Balls, they'd make the series not exactly as much as what it was. It would make it less than what it was before. I just wouldn't like it if they got done away with Dragon Balls. And you're right. To be quite honest, there's still moments where I feel like suspenseful, just because like, oh, what's gonna happen? Super is at fault because they're taking place before the 10-year gap, you know, at the end of the series, where we already know everyone's okay, everyone's there. That already killed the suspense. It's not necessarily always going to be the Dragon Ball's fault. I think what really killed Dragon Ball Super is having it take place before the 10-year gap. Now, I never thought they'd write off GT, and I still don't, in terms of, you know, story progression. Obviously, it's not canon, but, you know, there's so much merchandise and stuff going towards GT, they never just completely disown it like that, if that makes sense. So, I mean, you got a point, but I think the big thing that really killed Dragon Ball Super, in my opinion, would be like, and I know you're not talking about Super specifically, you're just talking about all of Dragon Ball. But for me, just Super, just the time placement, because you know no one's going to seriously be injured. Let's see here. Baby Broly versus Raditz. Baby Broly versus Nappa. I think both of them could beat Raditz, and the reason why is, even though Broly was born at power level of 10,000, and Nappa and Raditz aren't really close to that. The fact of the matter is, Broly was kind of almost killed by a knife. That's kind of all I need to say. Like, Baby Broly was almost killed by a knife. I don't see what he's going to, you know, I think Raditz could probably just step on his head and crush it, to be quite honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm an idiot, but that's my opinion on it. What if Nappa did, like, his arm break, too, on him? Like, that little arm break attack where, you know, it took off Tien's arm? That would be pretty devastating on Broly, I feel like. Baby Broly. Not regular Broly, Baby Broly. Who do you think the most successful artist in the world, in world history? I think it's either Elvis, Beethoven, Michael Jackson, or the Beatles. I think the Beatles, and I'm not going to talk about old Beethoven. I'm going to talk about, like, you know, more current things. I think the Beatles would definitely probably be. I'm not even a huge Beatles fan. I like Queen. Queen's really good. You know, all sorts of guys. I love 80s music, 70s, or late 60s, a lot of late 60s. That's interesting. I think the Beatles probably. I'm not a huge music buff, but I like a lot of 80s stuff. I don't pay attention to a lot of statistics, I guess you could say. But, I mean, I guess most people probably... You know what's funny? I bet you more people know about the Beatles than Beethoven. It's kind of like where there was some study that showed that more people recognize the McDonald's arches than the, you know, the cross. Kind of like that, if that's even a true thing. Legendary Super Saiyan 4 Broly, if he existed. Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta versus Omega Shenron. I think that they would still lose to Omega Shenron, because I don't think Broly... If Broly Super Saiyan 4 would not even be close to Goku and Vegeta, in my opinion. His base form... He couldn't have possibly gotten that much stronger unless he trained. Yeah, he could have gotten another Zenkai, but it would have put him up to even close to base Goku and GT. Not even close. So I still say Omega Shenron would have beat all of them, honestly. Do you think that Krillin's Destructo Disc could have killed Second Form Frieza on Namek if it hit him? Absolutely. Second Form Frieza, Resurrection F/Super versus Legendary Super Saiyan Broly Second Coming. I gotta give that one to Second Form Frieza, just based off of how strong First Form Frieza appeared. It's hard to say though, because everyone got so weak. Like, all these side characters got so weak in, like, the, you know, Dragon Ball Super and Resurrection F, so it's really hard to tell. If you was going to write a Twilight Zone episode, what would it be about? I can't possibly answer this, man. I'll be sitting here for a long time. It'd probably involve, like, a spaghetti squash and a reindeer or something. Don't ask how, just kind of think that story through for yourself. Who would win, Kid Goku or Kid Vegeta? Kid Vegeta would destroy him. Olaf from Frozen. I never saw Frozen, so this question's irrelevant. Versus the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Flying Spaghetti Monster. Videl in her prime versus Raditz. Oh my god, Raditz would demolish her. Videl in her prime was not even close to Raditz. Wasn't even as strong as Goku was. Not even as strong as Master Roshi, so this isn't a fight in my mind. Let's see here. If Raditz, Nappa, Turles, Vegeta, beginning of Namek Saga. That's a burp. Beginning of Namek Saga and Goku Saiyan Saga teamed up, do you think they could beat SSJ Bardock? What? I think Super Saiyan Bardock would blow them all away. Even if, okay, even if Bardock, let's just say, you know, because I did the video on how strong Super Saiyan Bardock, and I said he was a 2 million. That was my estimate. Even if Bardock was obviously, you know, a 10,000, let's just say, oh, he didn't get his Zenkai after he got sent back in time, which is still stupid. He was a 10,000 in the first movie. Oh, he was a little bit under, actually. Multiply it by 50, that's close to 500,000. None of those characters you just listed are even close to 500,000. Bardock would still wipe them all away. See, guys, I said something nice about Super Saiyan Bardock. He's still weak as shit, but it said something nice about him. Bardock is badass, but Super Saiyan Bardock ain't strong. So, there you go. And I think I'm going to end it off on this question. It's pretty simple for me. Broly's second movie versus Dabura. I'm under the impression that I get an argument all the time about this. I think Dabura is stronger than Super Perfect Cell by a good amount. The power scaling in that whole arc is terrible. But in my opinion, even though people are like, oh, you know, Goku's comparing him to Perfect Cell, I think he's comparing him to Super Perfect Cell, and here's why I think this. Number one, I think the writers are intending him to make Dabura seem stronger than the last villain. That being Super Perfect Cell, I think that's probably what they're writing it off as. Number two, I think Gohan was Super Saiyan 2. And Gohan being Super Saiyan 2, he would be able to beat or be a lot closer. If Dabura was as strong as Perfect Cell, he would be a lot closer to Dabura if he was a Super Saiyan 2. And Dabura was compared to Perfect Cell. Gohan was not doing that good against Dabura. A little bit more prevalent in the manga. The fight lasts a lot longer in the anime, so I guess either way you look at it, it can kind of go both ways. The fight in the manga is so short, though. So short. Here's another point, though. If Gohan was a Super Saiyan 1, I'm not trying to confuse anyone, but I probably will. If Gohan was a Super Saiyan 1, and Dabura was being compared to either Super Perfect Cell or Perfect Cell, Gohan wouldn't have stood anywhere near as good of a chance as he was doing against Dabura, if that makes sense, because of how much weaker Gohan did get over those years. And again, going back to Super Perfect Cell, I think he's got to be strong on Super Perfect Cell for those points I mentioned. Not to mention, after Goku compares him to Cell, he's like, oh, he's a magic user. And it is apparently from like the Japanese text, which I haven't experienced, but take it with a grain of salt. This is what I heard from Mike from Laughing Stock Me. I believe what he said was that he got this off one of the guys from Con's Entries. It's like when Dabura uses magic, Goku said that he's way stronger than what I thought he was. Way stronger. So as in if a lot. Now in the regular manga that you can read, he'll just say, oh, he's stronger than I thought. But apparently in the original text, it says way stronger, which is a big difference in my mind. Definitely stronger than the Super Perfect Cell. And not only that, he has his Stone Spit. I don't think Broly is going to be able to do anything about Stone Spit. His sword. I think that Dabura's, well, I mean, even Gohan broke Dabura's sword, but I think Dabura honestly would have the edge over Broly. That's an interesting one, too. I get bashed for that all the time, though. But that's been my Q&A for you today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this again. Let me know what you guys think of, Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, Raditz and Nappa, all that stuff. What do you guys think that'd look like? Give your descriptions. I think Raditz is the easy one, but Nappa's a little bit more interesting. That's going to be my featured question, and it's going to be weird, but I think it's fun when people talk about stuff like that in Dragon Ball. Some of that weirder side of Dragon Ball. I guess more of the headcanon, really. I know a lot of people hate headcanon, but sometimes I like talking about it. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.